in the classroom and how to be prepared and do that. And I'm concerned about somebody pulling a fire alarm in a high school and the kids running out and being shot like that outside. What statistically do you have on that, or what advice would you give someone? Because this is so totally different than what we've been taught before.
I'm glad you brought that up, because I should have. That's a common question. That actually occurred in Florida. I want to say it's the second shooting. I'm not 100% on that. Parkland.
First.
Keep this in mind. When is the last time you heard of a school burning down? In today's time, you practically never hear of it, because they're made of materials today that do not burn quickly. Way back when I was a kid coming up, we were very concerned of it because they was built of materials that were very combustible. So today we say this, in the Somerset school system, we've already addressed this with them. Their staff, if a fire alarm goes off, their staff is going to investigate it first, and the students will stay in place. Then they will make an announcement if they do need to evacuate. Because it has happened, I know of twice, that gunmen have pulled fire alarms to try to get people to go out before they can be ambushed. So that is something you need to pre-plan with your facility. Now, if you work at a facility that's full of combustible materials, you might want to look at it a little bit differently. But in public schools today, it's highly unlikely the school is going to burn down. Very good question. Anyone else? Captain, over here. I hope you stretched.
On your additional training you offer, how in-depth is that? I mean, do you actually go into like grappling with firearms type thing, you know, to try to teach people how to take someone down? Yes or no?
I'll make a little bit of a joke of that. We do, in the fight aspect of the training, we do let them get, how should I put it, a little active. We do not teach the redneck judy chop. We don't teach you to be ninjas. You won't come out of it with a black belt. We'll give you some advice, but no, we are not going to teach you how to fight. Okay? But they do interact, and they usually interact pretty well. Pretty well. Other questions? Well, actually, I had more than I expected. Last call. She's just waving. She's waving at her. Oh, got one over here. Okay. Yes, sir.
I got really two questions, actually. As administrator, police chief, how do you deal with, say, a scanner land scenario when that call goes out like a school incident? I know you're focused on the incident at the school, but now you've got half the county coming to your location armed. Do you have scenarios in place to deal with that as well? Or?
Yes and no. On the first part of that question, I won't discuss police protocol or police response because we don't want that known publicly, but we do have a plan in place on the police side. In layman's terms, I don't care what kind of plan you got in place, it's going to be mass chaos. It's going to be not only scanner land going to go crazy, your cell phones are probably going to stop working. Parents is absolutely going to be the hardest thing we've ever dealt with, is parents at reunification points. Folks, I'm a parent too. I get it, but we are going to be so overwhelmed with stopping this threat, making sure everyone is safe. We're going to have kids locked in classrooms for probably hours before you'll be able to get them. We'll be busing children to other locations to be reunified with their families. You're going to have panicked parents at those locations. I understand. I'm just hoping they can have a little bit of understanding with us as well. Because we are, South Central Kentucky, we're a decent sized agency, but compared to large agencies, we don't have the resources that they do. So we're going to be spread extremely thin at that point.
Yeah, that's my second part of my question. As administrator, you know, I'm going to have some officers under myself that I have to train. Is that called ALICE training? And how do, if it is, or I've heard something like that, acronym called ALICE. and I'm not familiar with it, how can I get my officers trained to respond to a situation here locally?
If you will get with Lieutenant Smith when we're done, I went back to people that, and I'm not downing Alice, don't think that. I'm not. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 of us now certified as Alice instructors. It's a very good program, but it's not the only good program. Alert is another company that's an acronym that does active shooter training. FLETC in Georgia does active shooter training. The National Tactical Officers Association does training, where that's another certification I have in this. I lost count. I think I have 3 instructor certifications in this. My suggestion is, if you can do them all, do them all. Because everywhere I go, every class I go to, I pick up on something that I can use in another way. They're all good, but they're not free. They cost money. So, but yeah, I would recommend any. The most reputable ones I know of is Alice, Alert, the NTOA, and FLETC in Georgia. Now, there may be some other ones, more Midwest or West Coast that I'm not as familiar with, but those are the ones that I know most on the East Coast. East Mississippi is that one. Okay? Is that okay?
Yes, I have a question on, say you are in a place where someone comes in out to shoot you, and you have concealed weapons, and you take them down, and everybody runs out, what the person with concealed weapons do.
Okay. Captain, can you, I had a little bit hard time hearing. Repeat that.
His question is, if you're a person that has a concealed weapon, shooter comes in, and you take the person down, what should that person's response be then when law enforcement comes in?
So, are you saying basically got them at gunpoint? More or less? Because they're disarmed at that point and you've got a weapon in your hand. We're going to challenge you, and what I mean by challenge is we're going to give you a brief point in your life to do what we say. And then you're going to decide your fate. The reason why is we've had this happen. We don't know who it is. It may have been 2 or 3 people fought over the gun, and the gunman's got the gun back, and as we round that corner, when we enter the room, we don't know if it's the lawful citizen with the permit that's got the gun, or if it's the bad guy got the gun and he's getting ready to kill another victim. We don't know. So all we're going to do is we're going to address whoever's got that gun and give you an opportunity briefly to make a decision. And then, well, we're going to assist you after that point. I'll just say that's as nice as I can say it. Any other questions? Got one over here, Kevin? Does that make sense to you? I hope so. I made a little light of it. Try to keep everybody a little engaged.
Yeah, we're the banker row over here, and a couple of years ago, the bank that I work at, not this bank, but the bank that I worked at on December evening, a fellow came in, pulled a gun on teller, it was armed robbery, but doing what we've always been trained, in that you freeze. Does your response in the situation, do you respond before a shot is fired, or what's the tiebreaker there? If somebody comes in and pulls a gun in a bank.
Okay. Just hold that a second. You can tell me if I've answered or not. Of course, you're sitting next to a rock star, so you guys are in great shape there at Citizens Bank. If you need any more muscle than that, just call me. But George, he's probably the redneck ninja at your place, I'd say. But every person's different. We said run, hide, fight, natural instincts to freeze. Everyone's different. Even though that's your options, some people may go, just like the lady at San Bernardino, she went into it saying she was going to fight, and she makes me think of Misty over here. She'd probably be the type, I'll take care of them, don't you worry about it a second, William. But when it comes to fight or flight, she got down and stayed down briefly. We can't predict what we're going to do in that high-stress situation. But you do not have to wait for somebody to shoot you before you react. I think that was the main point of your question. If somebody's pointing a gun at you, you can react. Now, can I tell you in every situation what's the best reaction that's going to save your life? I cannot. I can't predict everything at that location, at that time, what's around you. But I can tell you this, no valuable is worth your life, especially when it's somebody else's money. It's not your money. Let them go. Give them the money and let them go. Typically, now here's another good point that I just thought about. Big difference. Active shooter, bank robbery. What's this guy's motive? To kill people. What's this guy's motive? And as quick as he can get out of there and go. He's not wanting to hang around. Does that help you?
More or less.
Okay. Back to Mike.
Yeah, and yeah, if they come in and they put a note down saying we're robbing the bank or something like that, motive is pretty clear. But in this instance, he pulled the gun first. And so but thank you.
Yeah, that's probably about the best I can answer that. Typically, going to the teller window, they're probably wanting money. They're the right place for it. Any more questions? It's your dime, it's your time. It's actually not even your dime. It's your time, so. Any more? Mr. Clue, do you have anything else you'd like to say before I finish up?
I just want to thank you. I wish I'd like everybody, if we could, let's give Chief Hunter a round of applause. Thank you very much for taking the time to do this. I thought this was really, really good. Also, we still have some food outside. Please grab some cookies, some food on the way out. And if you brought any trash in with you, please look around, look to your left, look to your right. If you see anything, please pick it up and take it with you, and let's put it in the trash cans outside, okay? Thank you so much, and I think that'll conclude our evening.
My last thing, we're here until you're done with questions, so have a good night. I hope you enjoyed it.